One thing that makes the NBA entertaining is the numerous records held by many individual players and teams. However, due to the increase of talent in the NBA nowadays, it seems that a player is either breaking a previous held record, such as Westbrook breaking Oscar Robertson's triple-double record last year, or is approaching it, such as Steph Curry and Ray Allen's three-point record. These two records and other records, such as most minutes played, which is held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, seem to most likely be broken in the future. However, today we are going to discuss 4 NBA records that are unlikely to be broken. The first record is Wilt Chamberlain's single scoring average record of 50.36 points per game. Not only does he hold the highest single scoring average record, but he also holds the second, third, fourth, and sixth highest scoring average record with a 44.83, 38.39, 37.60, and 36.85 points per game. This record is so hard to break that the closest player to breaking his record wasn't even that close, as the GOAT Michael Jordan once averaged 37 points per game in the 1987 season, which is 13 points away from Wilt's record. Rick Barry and Kobe Bryant, two other all-time great scorers, each averaged 35 for a season, which is also nowhere close to Wilt's record. Another reason to why this record will never be broken is because of the way the NBA is today. It was easy for Wilt to average 50 back then because he was playing against a bunch of smaller and weaker players, and he was always the go-to player in that team. Nowadays, defenders are bigger, faster, talented, and more skilled, so it would require players with ridiculous offensive skills such as MJ and Kobe Bryant to break Wilt's record, and even they couldn't get close to breaking it. Also, with the way coaches bench players during a blowout or long road trips, it makes it tougher for a player to score a lot. For example, last year Klay dropped 60 in 3 quarters, but he was benched in the 4th quarter because the game was out of hand. Therefore, this limits players' capacity to score. The second record that's unlikely to be broken is once again Wilt Chamberlain's career rebound record of 23,934 rebounds. This record is so far from being broken that the closest person to breaking his record is the retired Hall of Famer Bill Russell, who himself retired with about 2,000 rebounds less than him. That's about 2 full seasons of rebounds that Russell is behind. To put it in perspective, recently retired Tim Duncan, who is also a future Hall of Famer and one of the best rebounders of this generation, is approximately 8,000 rebounds away from Wilt's record. The closest active player to breaking his record is Dwight Howard, and he has only half of his rebounds. For Dwight to match his record, he would have to average at least 14.5 rebounds for at least another 10 years, which seems very unlikely. Even Shaq, one of the most dominant big men in history, is 10,000 rebounds away from Wilt's record, which is ridiculous and tells you how Wilt's record is untouchable. Wilt's record is unlikely to be broken for similar reasons that his scoring average record is. Players are much bigger and more physical nowadays. Back in the days, Wilt was obviously the biggest and most physical guy on the court. However, today he would have competition from guys that are near his size, such as Dwight Howard, Karl-Anthony Towns, DeAndre Jordan, and many others. The third record belongs to John Stockton and his all-time assist record of 15,806 assists. John Stockton had an amazing stretch in which he averaged at least 10 assists per game for 10 consecutive years. What's more remarkable about it is that the second closest person to his record is the amazing Jason Kidd, and he is still approximately 3,000 assists away from him. That's about 4 more years of at least 10 assists per game. The closest active players to breaking John Stockton's assist record are Chris Paul and LeBron James. LeBron James, one of the greatest passing forwards in NBA history, would need to double his assist totals just to match Stockton's record, which seems impossible considering that James is already in his 15th year in the league. Chris Paul himself is also about 7,000 assists away from matching Stockton's record and is definitely not on pace to break his record as he is on the tail end of his career. Besides being a crafty and great passer, playing alongside an all-star in Karl Malone helped Stockton reach his assist record as they paired together for 18 years and formed one of the best duos ever. John Stockton actually also holds another record, the steals record, with 3,265 steals, and that record also seems untouchable. There could possibly be a player in the future that could break Stockton's record, but they would need to come into the league early and play at least 20 years with double-digit assist averages. 2 players that come into mind that might come near breaking his record due to their young age and passing skills are Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball. The fourth record that's unlikely to be broken is the Boston Celtics record of 8 consecutive titles. This record is so remarkable. because no other franchise has won 3 consecutive titles. Never mind 8, winning 3 rings nowadays is tough. There are also many franchises that don't even have 8 titles in total. With the lack of loyalty and movement of players from one super team to another, a team could easily go from one of the best teams in the league to the worst, such as the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron left them for Miami. Another reason this record will be hard to beat is because of the level of competition in the NBA today. Other than the Cavs and Warriors, there isn't a huge gap in competition like there was back in the 60s. Also, the wear and tear that players go through every year makes it tougher for them to stay in top shape. That's what makes playoff runs by players such as Kobe Bryant and LeBron James very impressive. For a team to win 8 consecutive titles in today's NBA, not only would they have to be competitive for 8 years, but they will also have to continually recycle young talent. This could be extremely tough, especially if the top players on the team require a max contract. Maybe the Warriors will come close to this record, but even that's a reach, as winning 3 alone will be tough already for them, considering the fact that a bunch of teams are forming big threes as a formula for success, such as OKC and the Timberwolves. Also, once you take into consideration their top players like Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and KD all want to get paid, it will be tough to keep all 4 of them. So these are my 4 records for today that I believe are unlikely to be broken anytime soon. I'm sure there are other records that are going to be hard to break. If you have any others in mind, leave them in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like